we're gonna make a video today about homeopathy and why it is completely useless. Now I have a blog. About 3.5 years ago I posted quite a bit. I did one post about homeopathy and I wanted to do a little visual component.
Okay.
So I made a video about me overdosing on an entire bottle of homeopathic pills. Calms Forte Sleep Aid.
Did it make you sleepy?
It didn't make me sleepy, but it made other people on YouTube cranky. So that was why I wanted to make now another follow-up video, which is somewhat clearer and explains things a little bit better with some visual aids. I'm not going to be taking another bottle of pills, which is, I'm sure is going to make many of my previous commenters happy. You're welcome. It's okay, you can actually watch lots of other people doing it. Plenty of other people besides me have done the exact same thing. I will put the links down below. I don't actually want to give Highlands another $20 of my hard-earned money. So that's another reason we're not going to do this.
Okay, so tell us about homeopathy.
It's 200 years old. It's a practice that was based on two principles. So the first principle is that the substance that causes a specific symptom in a healthy person can relieve the same symptom in a sick person if consumed at a very low dose. But the second principle is the dilution. So repeatedly diluting a substance actually makes the treatment more potent. So
dilution makes it
yes.
more potent.
A lot of the commenters on my last video was complaining that I had no business talking about this because I have no credentials. I'm not a doctor.
True?
Yes, it's true. I'm not a doctor. You don't need credentials to understand how nonsensical this is. And our visuals hopefully will give you a little bit of idea of why you don't need to be an expert to realize that this is magic water.
So on that old video where you did the overdose, you got a whole bunch of comments, some real angry people in there. So let's talk about some of those. Some people said that of course it didn't work for you because you didn't take as directed. My
answer to that is, it doesn't matter. There's nothing in it. It doesn't matter if I take it as directed, not as directed. For long, it's sugar pills. It wouldn't matter how I take it. The point of the video before was that taking the entire bottle has no effect on me because there's no ingredients in it.
Some other people said, well, it worked for me.
The answer to that is it is a placebo effect, or maybe you were doing other things. Maybe you had a cold and you took some homeopathy, but you also took some cough medicine and you got lots of rest. And you ate soup. So, you know, of course your cold's going to go away.
Or some people seem to get confused about the difference between homeopathy and herbal medicine.
Yeah, there's a huge difference between homeopathy and herbal medicine, and people get those mixed up all the time. When you say homeopathy, they just assume herbal. So again, this is why we're going to show you the demonstration to show you just how different it is. Herbal remedies actually have real ingredients in them. And a lot of modern medicine actually has derived from herbal medicine, like aspirin.
It's from white willow bark.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the dilution. Let's get to the demonstration.
All right, so here we're going to get into the dilution of it. So there's different types of dilution. There's if you look on the back of a box of homeopathic medicine, you'll see things like 1x, 2x, 30C, things like that. An X solution stands for 10, so X, the Roman numeral 10. 1x would be 1 part of the solution in 10 parts of water. C is a little bit more common. You see them, a lot of very common remedies with, say, boiron. Is a 30C solution. So
what's the C stand for again?
C stands for 100.
So 1 to 100 parts would be a 1C.
Hold that thought. Let me show you.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so here we have our active ingredient.
So what is this?
Our active ingredient is coffee.
So we got 10 milliliters of black coffee. So 10 milliliters with 1 liter. So that's a 1 to 100 ratio. Okay. So we put that in. That's a 1C mix.
Right.
So now homeopathy talks about succussion. This is an important magical step of shaking.
Yeah, in homeopathy they do this thing called succussion, which is just a fancy word for shaking.
Okay, so we will make sure it's fully mixed.
Yeah, so they shake it around a lot in a fancy way. So, apparently this is important somehow. Right, now you're thinking to yourself, well, you know, there's still coffee in there. There's still lots of active ingredient in there. Yeah, sure, if you have a 1C solution. But like I said, a lot of the common ones are 30C.
Well, let's do a 2C. So to get the 2C, we then take this result, I decant off another 10 milliliters. We empty the bottle and replace it with fresh water, and through the magic of cutting, we've refilled the bottle, 1 liter, just fresh water, and now we're going to take what we decanted off before, which was 1C. I put it in here, this becomes 2C, the second 1 to 100 mix. And of course, the important succussion or shaking step. Yeah, we're probably not doing it right. I'm sure someone out there is going to complain, but whatever. You get the idea. I'm going to decant another 10 milliliters. So now we can do, are we going to do a 3C?
I think they get the idea.
I think you get the idea. If we empty this bottle, put fresh water, another liter, and mix this in with that, that would be only 3C. So imagine doing that 30 times for 30C. How much caffeine would be in that bottle when we're done?
It's about equivalent to dropping 1 drop of coffee in an ocean.
So I'd be better off not buying that.
Exactly. That would be my conclusion. Yeah, so imagine doing this. We did it twice. To get to your average homeopathic remedy, we have to do it 28 more times. 28 more times. So
one of the commenters on your old video made a big deal about how this other homeopathic thing, this oscillocosinium, I'm sure I'm not saying that right, how it's got 5-star reviews on Amazon, and somehow 5-star reviews on Amazon proves that it works.
Yeah, let us talk for just a moment about the complete absurdity that is ossicillium, besides the name.
So what's the starting ingredient?
Well, this is a homeopathic remedy that treats the symptoms of cold and flu. And they do this with a starting ingredient of duck heart and liver.
Duck heart and duck liver.
Duck heart
is what they start with.
Yes.
They make a solution of duck heart and duck liver. So how does duck liver and heart liver even have any thing in homeopathy? I mean, what symptoms does it cures like? How does that work with a cold and flu?
Your guess is as good as mine. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter.
Why not?
Because they have diluted this product, as we showed you.
Is this another one of those 30 Cs?
It's a C, but
how many Cs?
You're a little low on your count there.
40 Cs?
Yeah, I think.
75 Cs. 100 C?
Well,
okay, how much?
200.
They repeat that process 200 times?
200 times.
200 times.
What we just did 200 times.
There's one with 400 zeros after it is the total 1, 2, that many zeros dilution.
No, that is vastly greater than the estimated number of molecules in the entire universe.
So at that point, it doesn't even matter what they started with. It's gone. It's well gone.
Exactly.
Okay, so that explains homeopathy. I understand the concept. Some people say it works for them. What's the harm?
There is a lot of potential harm to this.
How so?
Well, first of all, monetary. Your sick grandmother doesn't have a lot of money to spend, and she's going to spend it on nonsense. You don't want your family members or your friends to get scammed, right? But the even worse harm is when people take the homeopathic sugar pills and magic water instead of seeing doctors for very serious illnesses such as cancer.
Do people actually do that?
Yeah, there is a very good CBC Marketplace investigation I'm going to link to in the links section below, that they actually asked some homeopaths who claim that they could cure breast cancer. Their children have actually died because their parents have treated them with natural homeopathic products instead of taking them to doctors. I think they're cracking down on it now, but homeopaths were giving out homeopathic remedies as vaccines and telling people that they're protected against polio and measles and mumps instead of, actual real vaccines that save lives.
That sounds dangerous.
It does. So go see your doctor if you're feeling sick. Rule out anything bad. If you still want to spend your money on it, go ahead, but you are now a little bit more informed. Do some research, click on some of the links below, and let me know what you think. Only if it's nice.
See ya.